Yeah, I gave you enough to do it.
That's just the sheeting. You know, take that many to do the ribs too. But the majority of the ribs get cut out.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. So I could feasibly use a heavier wood for the ribs themselves. I don't know. Probably still going to end up with the same thing that I got right there.
Same as I got.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's,
the wood in my June RXL was ultra primo, and that's why it's 55 ounces or whatever.
every piece of wood in it.
Everything.
Ultra primo.
That was my first choice wood. And then the next one was the second choice wood was done with the Tucker, which is continually getting
Yeah, slowly steps up the weight bracket there.
Tucker, and then came the Thunderbolt.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. I just think it's cool. It's a cool airplane.
It is. I like my Takana. I haven't built another Takana for one reason.
Too heavy.
I'll never build one the same weight as that one. It'll only be heavier. That one was 68 ounces. It could have very easily been 80.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Got a huge fuselage on it, like that. You know, you can see the buck over there. That's the mold. The actual size. That the thing's big. I got one guy. He wants me to give him the plans for it.
Go for it.
I will, but I gotta tell him. I hope you got a whole lot of 4-pound wood around because you're gonna have a 90-ounce airplane.
Give me a marker. I'll mark this up. Well,
What, you want to bend it or something?
Yep. I gotta make the bearings for it first. Okay, get the bearings made. And this is stuff that I have a hard time doing in the apartment. Let's see here, these 8. I got it. I could bend one, but it's, you know, it's the old way with the shit K&S bender and
Like a hammer and everything else. Yeah, it's not an easy deal.
okay, I need 2 bearings. I need a drill bit that size. Oh, wrong Altoid box. Oh no. I don't have my acorn nut. Shit. Oh, I can do it with this, okay. Yeah. Where'd you set the bit? Oh, you ain't got it. me see your grandson's busy worker hammer. And your little anvil. I may not even have a
Busy worker hammer.
Shit, these aren't long enough. What's the deal?
Busy worker anvil and the busy worker hammer.
Let me see that. Might not be able to do it even. Oh yeah. Okay. That's why they're still in that package. They're the wrong size. Let me see that. Gotta check, make sure it's. Yeah, okay. Now, the itty bitty ones.
Might have to modify this.
3. That wire. I'm gonna have to look for some more of these little agates. It's an all-day project. 2, 3, 4, 5, one more.
Yes, it is.
You see the set I made?
Is that for the little islands?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are a pain in the butt. Man, this is different than all the ones we've done. Get that one. How come these are different measurements off the center? Shouldn't he have this horn right dead center?
That's where it needs to be. Let me make sure. That's where it needs to be.
Because the markings aren't centered on the upright.
Right. That's where it needs to be.
You need to run something down through that to expand that out.
What I'm doing here, and here again, see, I don't know what you guys, want me to do. I've shown all this stuff so many times. It's, repetition. We're going to take this little tiny eyelet. Let me see if I can get it focused on there. Little tiny eyelet. 40 thousandths ID. 16th OD. I'm going to put it in the lollipop. Maybe. Then we're going to set it. And I've made a tool. I've shown this before. So it flares it over like that. Then to set it, one whack on top, and that sets the other side. And those are my hinges.
Here, tap that.
I'd just like to be in a factory and do this all day long.
Well, I sat down here and did a whole shit pot full of hinges one night, so yeah, I sort of know what it's like.
Some Chinese kid who pees on his food would be there doing this all day long. This is heavier than my busy worker hammer. Yeah. Mine's 6 ounces. I think this is more.
I don't have anything with the right freaking spacing for that.
Well, what seems to be what's the issue?
Well, you need these pins.
Right?
Okay, and I gotta be able to hit the outside of that pin and slide. So this one won't go that way far enough to get this side, but I can go this way far enough to get that side.
Okay, well, get that side.
So I need to grind that out more that way. I wish that fit my mill, but it won't fit my mill. This one won't either.
Dennis at Admission, happy holidays weekend. Raining here all day. No flying for us either.
I'm trying not to have to drill and tap a whole bunch of stuff.
Just bend the one and then we'll bend the other one by hand.
Well, we have the technology, it's just don't want to go down.
Damn. I do everything else by hand.
Maybe it's possible. No,
Huh?
I'll be close if it does. Oh, it's there.
Get it?
Yep.
Hog it out. Of course, I gotta take them out to at least rough the flap in, but we'll get them set anyway. How do you set the wire? Just bend it over like so and push it in. And then it'll get glued, and that's it. So let's do the good afternoon, Alan. Man, you did a nice job this time. So I need some 5-minute epoxy. And I ain't super gluing these clips on. Where's your good stuff? Bob Smith or Zap?
Right here. Is that 5 minutes too? Should be.
Yep. Now, did Steve Moon give you any of them mixing sticks?
No.
This must be a bill setup here, huh? This bell crank?
No.
Where'd that come from? Wendy?
No, that's one of mine. That's a Sig bell crank.
Is it?
And the crank here on.
Piece of paper. Where are them those scraps? Where's your little scrapbooks?
Back here behind the drill index by that thing.
Popsicle sticks down here.
That one. Well, you can get some out of the box down there underneath, and you can get some up here.
I just need one. Take two, they're small.
Okay, so we're gonna bend this back towards me.
Yeah, don't bend it the wrong way, please.
Oh, man.
This has been sitting for a while. Come on. You can do it. There we go.
Look at that before I bend that back towards me. It's tight in there. You might have to loosen it.
This hole here needs to be right directly above that, right? That hole there needs to be parallel, right?
Technically, the line goes between those two.
Oh, that's right. Then it's okay.
Give or take a half a degree or whatever. Okay, what do I need to do? Use a track. Use it good to the last drop. You know. Shit costs it now. You gotta
About 20.
conserve.
Huh?
You gotta try to conserve as much as you can.
About $20 for this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Used to be $7.95.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I got the two bearing hinges in there. Two clamps, I don't tighten them on that side too much.
This is kind of important too. Make sure that this is at 90 degrees to the leading edge of that. Better check the other one too. I just did them by eye. Close enough. Within a thousandths or so. So we got that going. We need both these. We need some tape. Two apiece. 1, 2. Okay. So we'll mix it up.
Can I cut a little bit off the end of this
Yeah, whatever.
so I can clear that?
Yeah. You can cut it in half, whatever, because you know we're only going to have a 3/4 of an inch sticking out from the bend.
Finally did that wheel in.
Yeah, I think you're going a little far on conservation.
Have you priced those little fiberglass cutoff wheels at the hobby shop?
No.
Huh. I need to get 5 for about $25.
No.
Yep. Mark my word.
We need to buy it from Amazon then.
These ones that I'm using right now are the ones we got at the Model Rama show. Bigger ones.
Yeah. When is that Model Rama?
Well, it's in the spring. And
Of course, nobody's going to have anything I want anyway. Okay. That's that. Just let it dry. Then sand the shape. Sando the bando. Everything's sanding.
Sand, 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 and more sand.
Yeah.
I think you've sanded enough.
Better sand a couple more times.
Halfway there. I might have to drive them damn pins down there.
Yeah, you didn't count on that, did you?
Well, shoot. Shoot.
Grab my two more pliers.
Yeah, they're not. I tried it with a pair of vice grips already. And I don't have a proper punch. Drift, whatever you want to call them.
Drift. Piece of piano wire, 1/8 piano wire.
That's not 1/8, is it?
No, it's 3/16, but piece of 1/8 piano wire I get it out of there with. About 2 inches long. You have a new message. They want to buy your house.
Oh, yeah.
Or
That's
say,
a phone number nobody knows. I'm not too long to look at that.
that's too warm.
Yeah. I got them vice grips out for a reason. Because if that thing punches out real easy, you're not smacking your fingers for one.
Shit, you might have to press it out. Did it move?
Don't look like it.
Didn't feel like it either. Might have to heat it up or something. Would you gall it?
No. I probably pressed it in there, but wasn't that tight of a fit.
Try the other one. See. Yeah. Ain't gonna come out. Get your torch. Heat it a little bit. bending the piano wire. You move.
Doesn't look like it.
Heat it up.
Yeah, then we won't be able to handle the damn thing. Shit, all my others have popped right out of there. I didn't put them in there that tight.
Obviously, this was not.
Probably pressed it in there, but one size drill bit was too small, and the other was too big.
It'll be hot enough when it gets hot on your left hand.
Yeah.
Bending. Didn't move, did it? Got a bigger hammer. Look at that. It's just tearing that up.
No, I don't think I have a bigger hammer down here.
Get my 3-pound single jack on there. That'll add.
That'll gall that all up.
That ain't gonna do it. Let's get the press over here.
Let me have it.
Bending thing.
We'll fix that.
Cut her off. Get the press over here and hold it. You don't use your press on that glass, do you?
No.
You got it. Cool. Yeah, what was happening with this little hammer?
Dinging it up.
It was losing energy in the head.
Absorbing the flow from.
Ouch, ouch.
That heat went down that whole piece of aluminum.
Well, that's usually what happens when it gets hot.
Come out on the other end.
Six watchers, 8 thumbs up. Don't forget the super chats, guys.
Just remember, we're just old backyard hacks. Shows you where you can get down the shit. That's got them hinges wet.
It's all right. They're not really hinges, they're just bearing holders.
Well, overbend it a little bit because we can bend it back easier than we can. Where'd my Allen wrench go?
Got it on.
Very simple. Won't go that way for it now. Herein lies another problem. Never thought that. Son of a bitch.
Turn it around.
You can't, it won't go on there like that. Clamps won't work on it right. So you gotta go on that side.
It'll work.
There's no way of clamping it down. You see, you're on your hinges and all that stuff.
Well, get your, put it back in the mill and mill it out this way, 1/8 of an inch.
Doesn't mean anything because your clamps won't hold the wire, you see. I
Right.
gotta bend this one and I
Right.
needed another 1/4 inch that way.
Turn it around. Turn it around this way. And we're gonna bend off this side right here. We're gonna clamp to that one.
Your clamps won't clamp. It's gotta be in the center of the two holes, you see. There's no way I gotta. What I can do is to mill that out, and then the clamps don't have a block to
Or,
stand on.
listen,
Let me just run that milling bit down between the two holes.
hold it. Mill a slot right there. And then just pick this up, move that over there, and be on the other side of the, yeah, like that.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah, that's into this.
Right, see if I mill these holes out in between them holes, then when you go to clamp that down, it bows down underneath of it. You see
Still
what I
not gonna
mean?
do it. Need to drill it different.
Let me see my other. Vehicle here.
That will do it.
Just don't have any clamps to hold the thing down on. Might be able to get it on that one.
This is the first time we used this one, for me.
Well, they're all different. You know, we don't have some uniform. We had a uniform size.
Well, we could start doing that.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to make these things where the center section would slide in and out. It'd be sort of an elaborate fixture, but
That pin gonna fit in there?
see, this isn't a 1/4-inch pin, and that is a 1/4-inch pin.
It don't matter.
It probably doesn't make much difference.
It doesn't. Just stick the pin in there and bend her around. A hemorrhoid?
Alkaloids? Yeah, probably shouldn't, but.
Need to clamp that down with some vice grips. Yeah, just leave that off and use a vice grip. Except that doesn't look like your vice grips are going far enough. Nope. Hey, this is made in California too.
Gina. Yeah.
Gina, California. 79 cents! Oh, shit. From people who pee on their food. Yes, no.
Alright.
You can put it in the vise.
Is this music wire or is this
It's music wire. Or no, yeah, it's. I don't think it's drill rod. Well, it might be. It's a windshield horn. Or no, it's a windy horn.
what'd be nice is to have a bunch of like 2-inch strips of aluminum about that long. And you can just make one up whenever you need it.
2-inch wide.
Well, probably about that wide. Inch and 3/4 inch.
I got some aluminum stock. 2-inch wide. I think it's only 3/8 thick. Should be okay.
And that's plenty thick enough. You just need, long enough to get your stuff out of it.
Okay, now we need to cut these off. You might want to inspect those.
No. I'll pass this time. Maybe the next time you do that. I think you made them and that's pretty good. Looked at them pins, they got super glue on them. Can you believe super glue held that in there that hard?
Yeah. I think I need to drill this down. Yeah.
Still warm?
Yeah. That was 1/8 inch, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's again.
Let's see, this is the inboard that goes there. So this here. Perfect. 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 Well, kind of to move that over just a little. Can't do that. Got the wire in it. I got to take the wire back out.
Here's what you do: is you just stick you a piece of wood on the end of that flap. You're gonna put a piece of 64 plywood on it, aren't you?
No,
You're not hardening that into the flap?
no. A piece of wood gets glued in here. I got to cut it.
Oh, so you gotta cut that off to length and then add a piece of wood.
All right. About right there, whatever. Pretty short.
So then you don't have to worry about the gap on this end then being on.
No. I just need to make sure it's in the right spot. How come this glue has not dried yet?
Well, it's 5 minutes. I've never had any problems with it. That's what I've been looking for.
Where'd you put the scale? Oh, right there. Any closer to bit me.
70 ounces.
Yeah, it's working that way. 1 ounce.
Needs to be a half. But you're not gonna get by with 1 ounce with those hinges.
1 ounce. Half ounce, 4/10. So let's see what this thing's gonna weigh. It'll be pretty close. You guys are watching the show. 12 ounces, boy. I'd go for that. Shit. $12.5. Nothing I can do. Oh, forgot this piece. $12.8. Gonna lose a little bit out there.
Not a lot.
12.25, probably.
You got these full pieces to put in there, and you got the glue associated with gluing them in there, so you're probably not going to lose much of anything. In fact, it might even go up a teeny bit.
What does yours weigh with flaps?
I don't have flaps made for it yet. It's 9.7 with no flaps.
So apples to apples. Just have your, of course, I'm gonna lose a little there.
It'll be about the same.
What do you do?
We're pushing 10 ounces for a wing.
Yeah. They start off at 5, and by the time you add everything to it,
You know, the glue is probably
ounce.
over 50% of the weight that's added to that wing. Because you add up all the balsa pieces, you add up all these little cap strips, and you add up that trailing edge shear webs, and you put that on the scale, probably gonna weigh hardly shit. Hardly nothing. Just like me hauling out. That might be the only difference of why my wing's a little bit lighter, is the difference in hauling out them ribs that much.
I don't think your wing's lighter. I think they're the same weight because you're at 9.7. I'm at 10.3. And I'm going to take that out, and I know that I'm going to lose 50% of that weight because that's what it lost here. That weighed half ounce. This is probably, yeah, I'm going to lose a half ounce, so we'll be about the same weight. What are you going to do?
I mean, mine's about the same as this. Might be a little bit narrower because my pivot point's a little bit forward.
You know, this stuff is so light. I was thinking about it after. Why bother?
I mean, if you want to, I'm not a big advocate of cutting that whole thing out, but you drill a big hole, smaller hole, smaller hole, smaller hole, smaller hole, like that in it to lighten it. But how much are you gonna, I bet you probably can't weigh it.
No. So we're stuck.
I mean, you telling me you can't weigh the amount of wood that I took out of those ribs, but yet I took over at least, if not more than 50% of the rib away. There's more than 50% of the rib cut out of the
But how much did the ribs weigh? 4 grams total?
I don't know.
Not much. They don't weigh shit.
I know that. They weigh something though. You know, wood weighs more than air, no matter how you look at it. And in this day and age, we just got to build out of air. Now, if we could spray something around air that doesn't weigh anything, let it cocoon the air.
We gotta find some balsa wood. Some serious wood.
Well, what you're gonna have to hope for, and it's sort of morbid, but some old sucker that's sitting on the whole shit pot full of free flight grade balsa wood's gonna have to kick the bucket, and you're gonna have to be sitting right over top of him when he does it.
With the money. With the money.
I mean, those two wings, they're identical. They're the same wing.
Yeah.
In fact, I got a heavier lead out guide than what you got in yours. But I have 2 wheel collars hanging out there on the line.
You know, I really thank Craig for getting us this stuff. But I hope he understands that contest wood that we know, you know, like you said, you saw that guy selling contest wood 7 to 10 pound or whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't find that ad again after I saw it. It was up there, and I was going to show it to Barb, and I got a half an hour later, and I went back, tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Or was that on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. It's 7.5 to 11 pound or something like that, 10.5 pound wood. Contest grade wood is that. I'm going, hey, somebody's going to chime in here and say something pretty quick, you know, on that one.
Well, this wood here that we got, this wing is 2 ounces heavier than my Junar wing, with the same amount of wood in it. You know, it's the same wing.
Well, you remember how it went. It went 4 to 5 pound wood was contest grade wood. Then it went 4 to 6 pound wood was contest grade wood. Then it went 5 to 7 pound contest wood. Now it's 6 to 9 pound is considered contest wood. It's just, I don't know that it's actually even out there. I think that all that really good balsa wood come from more mature trees and stuff out of the jungle. And if they're growing this stuff in plantation growing it, you know, like tree after tree after bush after bush after bush, and they're only letting it get to be 18 inches in diameter or a foot in diameter, and they cut it, well, you might not ever be able to get, 4-pound wood out of that. It's not mature enough. It's not old enough. And it may take, climate-wise, a longer, slower growing period to create light wood than a hotter, faster growing period. You may never be able to get that without just perfect conditions.
Somebody's got it.
It's out there, I bet, if you want to pay for it to go get it. But I don't think these sawmills and stuff down there will even change their stuff off 24-inch length wood to cut it.
24.
Well, whatever the wind turbine guys want, you can't get 48, so they're not cutting 48. 36 is hard to come by, so they're not cutting 36. So they're cutting that thing into 6-inch chunks or 24-inch chunks or something like that they can utilize in them wind turbine blades. It's the optimum cut for their wood without a lot of waste.
Well, we're going to have to put an end to wind turbines.
And
they don't work, and they're stealing our wood.
They can't pay for themselves before they break down. And then they're a landfill problem. And then you look at batteries. You even take batteries. You got a battery that's made out of a product that we don't even have, that we have to buy from somebody else. Have to, because we don't have any lithium.
We had it.
When?
When we had Afghanistan.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't a forever thing. You got to have somebody in office that's capable of
thinking.
Yeah. We're working with other countries because we're working for the benefit of each other.
We're just them ultra mega guys.
The deplorables.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen me out there shooting anybody or rioting or burning down City Hall or anything like that.
They're trying to start a color revolution is what's happening. This is how communist countries are brought into existence.
If you control the food and you control the money, control the water. What we need to do is make a law that states that you can only own so much property in the United States.
The government shouldn't own any of it.
Government's not supposed to own any of it.
10 square miles is all they're supposed to own.
The land that they're building is their own.
Yep. Forts, ports, and armories. And DC. 10 square miles. I don't understand why these wings won't get their shit together.
Well, everybody's playing Kahungas. And everybody's on the take and everybody's corrupt. can't very well go after somebody else that's corrupt when you're a proven corrupt. You know, they got dirt on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
They got dirt on you. They got dirt on me. They got dirt on everybody.
You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
So the dirt on me ain't gonna work out for
No, they're not gonna make anything off the dirt they'd have on me.
them. Yeah, if you took everything I had, you still, you know, I started with nothing, and now
I'm gonna end up with nothing.
I got about half of it left.
When I leave this world, I'm gonna be all worn out, and everything else, there won't be nothing worth trying to save. There already isn't anything worth trying to save.
Okay, well, I guess I got about everything done I needed to get done today.
You're gonna inlet that in there?
Yep. I'll get it all hollowed out first. Then I'll set it up here and drill 4 little holes in it, and then carve it out and then sand it until it slides in.
Old fashioned way. It still works. I mean, there's a lot of times, I got this machinery around here. I'll break out a sanding stick or a sanding block or something, just
Yeah, don't take nothing.
doesn't cost me any electric. And I can tell, Barb will tell you, when I've been down here working a lot and using this machinery, she'll tell you by the electric bill.
Miley tells me the same thing. It's a lot cheaper when I'm not there, the electric bill.
Yeah.
Because I'm running all them overhead lights and
Well, these are all, whatchamacallit, LEDs.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't burn any more than like 100-watt light bulb. Or two thing fluorescent bulbs. But I don't know.
so you get your cutoff wheel while I'm here.
A bit long. That'd be long at that too.
Yeah.
Probably by another inch or so.
Yeah, but
They'll have that cut off back into here.
Yeah.
No sense in all that hanging out there getting in your way.
this is a different one.
Yeah, I took out a different one.
The reason why I do it that way.
It's a little bit smaller, and that's why.
The reason why I do it this way is that this.
You know when your bell crank's under.
Yeah.
I know exactly why you do it.
So
I do it the same way. I leave it long. I cut it. I center the bell crank. I cut it off to the trailing edge of the wing, and that way I know when that's there, my bell crank's perfectly centered. And then I put this in here. I put the little horn and everything on. I hold it up there and I mark it, and then I cut it.
Right. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I suppose you could put it all together and then sheet this last or whatever.
No, you gotta guarantee somehow, because you can't see in there, because after you cut that hole in it, you're sealed up. I've even tried making my lead outs identical on length.
It don't work because
It
you might
don't
be
work,
holding
because
it.
if you move it forward or backwards in the wingtip, then it changes. You can
Yeah.
watch the bell crank sit in there and move.
Right. It's a shame. So what does that mean to make 60 ounces? less paint.
That's all you can do. You really don't have a choice.
Nope.
Alan Goff even called me up asking, he says, "You guys are putting some pretty nice paint jobs on them airplanes, man. How are you guys doing that?"
Yeah.
I said, "Sand." And when you're done sanding, sand some more, because you're not sanding. Well, I go down to 1,500. I said, "You got to go down to 5,000.
Yeah.
And you got to keep sanding and sanding and sanding." And you know what we're basically doing is we're putting a coat of clear on and we're sanding it all off. Putting a coat of clear on and sanding it all off. Putting a coat of clear on and sanding it all off. And then the last coat of clear is more like polishing it. And that's not enough, because you really should have 2 or 3 nice heavy coats on there at the end.
Yeah, but that's 2 ounces more.
That gives you that gives you that look, that windy look.
That's 2 ounces more. So you're either going to have a super light airplane and be on the front row, or a turd on.
Well, it'd still be a good looking airplane, but
Yeah.
it'd just weigh a lot. And it's so easy to put 12 ounces on an airplane.
I got very lucky with the Monado this year. I didn't figure that was. I wanted to win the concourse, but that's a plain airplane, like that other guy with that red airplane.
Yeah, well, it's not as plain as his. You got the gold leaf and all that.
The pilot.
What won that thing, and you probably know this as well as I do, was the judges.
Yeah.
And they know the difference between a hand rub finish and spray shine.
Yeah.
And they picked the airplane that had more labor in it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Those other airplanes look spectacular.
Yeah, they were spray shine.
That they were spray shine.
Yeah.
It's sort of like monocoat opposed to paint.
Yep.
And monocoat will never score right up there at the nitty gritty with the painted plane. Never ever.
Dan Banjock, he said, "What got it for me was the gold leaf. I love that."
Well, I mean, that's something everybody does a lot of, and it's not that it's hard. It's not all that hard. You just got to be careful, and it takes more time, putting on pan lines. That'll screw your airplane up as fast as it'll help it.
Yeah.
If done wrong, bad panel lines look worse than no panel lines at all. So everything, all that shit's compromise. Everything in this whole damn thing is a compromise. You compromise on this, you compromise on that, you compromise on that. You compromise until you can't compromise anymore and the thing falls apart on you, you know what I mean? And you keep lighting it up until all of a sudden things start folding, things start happening. Then you gotta go backwards, you gotta start
Let me see
putting heavier stuff.
Let me see a scale. I want to make sure I got these right. Ruler.
A ruler?
Yeah, ruler or you. It's put back.
No, I didn't put any scales up. No scales up here. That's what it is. I don't have a single scale out.
No, this is square. I can measure with this though. Oh yeah, I got plenty.
Yeah, but it still doesn't find my scales.
2.5. Oh, I put in my pocket. I don't know where they are. What the heck we had around here? Both of them had sandpaper on them.
There's not a scale on there.
Huh?
There's not even a scale on there. Not in there.
You were picking stuff up.
No, but I didn't. I picked up the vice grips and that shit.
Here's one. The other one has a red sandpaper on the back.
Got some guys on the TV, didn't they?
Yeah, where's the scale at, guy?
That one had the real funky markings on it. The super fine.
Yeah, the one I couldn't use. I didn't put it in my pocket. Of course, I never would do that. In here, see if it's in here. Not in here. We use it over here. Yeah, I see you made some springs out of spring steel I brought you.
Yeah. Use them to hold my parallels and didn't have it back in there, didn't so when we had them all out.
We were using them right here, I thought.
Right on the.
I used that one, I laid it right there. $10 says it's here somewhere. This one. Did we do any work over here?
I didn't put it in there in place of a parallel. So I have to check them on that.
Sure.
Yeah, I just checked. Here.
It's sitting right out in the open somewhere.
Underneath the.
Nope. Got red sandpaper on the back of it.
Right there it sits.
Huh? Where was it?
Sitting right there.
The sandpaper?
With the sandpaper up.
Yeah.
It's sitting right there like that.
Let's see what the boys have to say. We've been on an hour and a half.
Never fails. I got another one of these little scales somewhere in the garage.
I got 2 of them.
Had 3 of them. I gotta find out when their sale is over there. Those came from Gershiner's Machinery Chest.
Yeah.
Gersteiner. Well, they make felt-lined wooden toolboxes for machinists for all their measuring tools and stuff.
Yeah.
Make real high-end. I mean, $5,000 toolbox.
Snap-on.
Better than Snap-on. These are all handmade wood. They're right over here across the river. Every year they have a sale. Scratch and dent, incompleted boxes, stuff like that don't pass their goodies. Well, I went over there that one time and they had a box. It must have been the size about as big as a Sig Magnum box. You know how big that is, about like that square. One box was full of 4-foot steel rules. The other box was full of 3-foot steel rules. And then another box of 2-footers. And a box of them little scales and little 6-inch jobbers. And they were like $1 a piece.
Well, when you go, buy me some. Okay.
I should have bought a whole crap pot full of them.
All of them and sold them.
Well, see, they all have a name on them, but that's been ground off.
Oh.
You know, so there's some kind of flaw. See, maybe I say, but they ground this shit off.
Oh well. So what?
But there's a flaw in it somewhere that makes it not worthy of them. You know, it might just be a little tick mark that doesn't have ink in it. You know?
We don't care.
You know, maybe they're not down to the millionth straight. How you gonna know that? Can you measure a 4-foot long object down to a millionth if it's straight or not?
No.
I
go, yep, that's good.
Is it gonna affect us in anything we do? No. A wooden yardstick's plenty good now.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna use that fuel line stuff in there. I don't necessarily like that.
Never let me down yet.
Yeah, you do the same thing I do.
What?
Make it to where it'll go over center and everything like that, and then you'll never have a problem with it.
Yeah. I tried to do it bulletproof, but it doesn't always happen.
Nah, this right here is the biggest thing that you could do right here is make this whole everything here work as smooth as you can.
Well, you know my controls, they're floppers. You see some guys that the flaps are rubbing and they bind it.
Yeah.
Your buddy.
You gotta have completely floppy controls. And I don't think I've ever had, I probably have, you know, an airplane or two that had some problems with the control system, but nothing that I would write home about. But now I would make sure that it's gone, you know, it's out of there.
I don't go any farther until everything's perfect on
Yeah.
controls.
Yeah, you can't. How long of a bolt did you use in this? Inch and a half?
In what?
2 inch?
It's a 1-inch bolt.
1 inch?
I tried a 3/4, but it didn't quite leave enough sticking out the aircraft nut, so
Yeah, 3/4 isn't long enough. I'd rather use 2 inch. I had a choice.
That's sticking out of the bottom a 1/4 inch. I gotta cut it off.
No, the one on in the push
Oh.
rod.
That's 1.5 inches. It goes back in here.
As far as that metal does down
Yeah.
there.
With plenty of JB Weld gooped in there. And I notched it up. Didn't you see it?
Yeah. I couldn't tell how long the bolt was, but I wouldn't have expected anything less than that.
Yeah, but it would be nice to have 2 inch, but it's 1.5 inches.
2 inch hard to find in a 440 bolt.
Yeah. Well, I know that's better than Tom Morris's 2 inch. He sells that grade 5 all thread.
You get up there to a certain point, like 2 inch for 440, and they'll start going per bolt rather than you get 50 or 100 or whatever.
I thought you were gonna clip me on this right here, to be honest with you. Not really a mistake, it's just, it didn't fit perfect. Right there. Yeah. But when I cut this box,
See,
I'll span this.
you'll span that, you'll get a super fill in this. I'm not worried, that doesn't bother me.
You can't see it anyway. It'll be all solid when
It's
it's
all
done.
hidden in there.
I personally don't think I'm gonna do this again. You like it, I don't. Cause it doesn't leave as clean a line. I mean, I'm gonna sand them, but gonna be a lot of fiddling to get it perfect.
You shouldn't, if all these are vertical and right, then all you should have to do is like take something in there like that
Yeah, I know.
and sand flat to that piece and you're done.
Sounds good.
But see, this hides all that end grain that you see there and other. One thing I did see when you did this and you're trying to find this, you didn't take a measurement from here to here and from here to here, and that would have told you exactly where it was at. You know what I mean? Because you can't go off this because it tapers. This is sort of straight in there.
Did I find it?
Oh yeah, you'll find it all right, but my man, Sparky, why didn't you measure that before you covered that up?
See, this line here looks cleaner to me. I had to add a piece because I overcut it. That'll be fine. Can't let Jim in on all my secrets. He'll ding me on if he ever judges again.
See, this one's overlapped too. You left extra on there. If you want.
That's okay.
It's all just a little bit, all that little tedious little work that you gotta do.
Haven't made the doors for it yet.
I used to get these batteries. And I can't find them anymore. Now maybe I'm not looking in the right spot. I used to get these batteries that were about this size, and they work in my tack and stuff, my stopwatch. But if you bust one of these open, and this ain't the one, it's got 4 or 5 little batteries in there that are
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect for what?
Your tack or your stopwatch.
Did you know if you open a car battery up, it has AAA's in it?
A car battery.
You think I'm bullshitting?
Well, my car battery doesn't.
I bet it does.
It's a lead acid battery.
Okay. You got an old time battery, lead acid, where you take the caps
you can
off.
take the caps off and put
Okay.
fluid in it.
Car batteries with AAAs on YouTube. Or double A.
One sec.
There we go. Let's see. No. Car batteries filled with AA batteries on YouTube.
Here's what I found.
Thousands of A vector. There we go, right there.
Hey there, fellas. So today, just like we always do, we'll be experimenting.
Oh no.
Let me just say something here. I'd like to thank our viewers for commenting on our videos.
Okay.
Here's why I threw away all my blood pressure meds. Drinking this before bed can lower blood pressure by
This ain't it either. Cutting open a car battery to find AA batteries.
Here's what I found.
Shit, and I won't be able to find it. Nope.
Ask it what's inside a car battery. A new car battery.
Here's what I found from hypertextbook.com.
Car
A
battery.
car battery is a plastic box divided into 6 cells that is filled with an
That's an old
electrically
battery.
conductive sulfuric acid solution called an electrolyte.
Yeah, that's the old batteries. Cutting open a car battery.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Cutting open a car battery on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube. The guy cut the thing open and out, poured thousands of AA batteries.
Well, I mean, you could do that.
I don't know. I'll see if I can find it again when I go home.
It's just like everything else that's on there. When you want to find it, you can't find it.
Yeah.
Was it one of them 6-cell batteries like for off-road that don't look square, that look sort of like a 6-pack?
Nope, it was like an Everstart or one, regular car
Regular.
battery like we put in the car. And the guy just zipped off the top with a cutoff wheel and opened that puppy up, and inside was gazillion AA batteries.
I mean, you could do that. I was watching a guy who was taking 9-volt batteries, and he had about 20 of them there, and he started snapping 20 more of them on top of them. So it'd go positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, boom, 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 on down the line, and then he left a positive and a negative open on the ends.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you add all that up at 9 volts of battery, it wouldn't be over 9 volts, but it would be your amperage would gain. Because you got all them batteries, so your amperage would go up. Your voltage would still be 9 volts because you're positive or negative, positive.
No, in series like that, it goes up.
No, it goes up like that. So, yeah, so you probably had
1,000 volts.
maybe 500 volts. I don't know how much, but he had at least 12 or 15 batteries on each side, top and bottom.
30 times 9?
Yeah, 30 times 9 volts.
That's 270 volts.
Yeah.
30 times 9, 270, yeah.
So he's probably running some light bulb rated for European.
220?
Yeah. Whatever their standard is that they go by over there for voltage. They're completely weirded out opposed to us.
Yeah, they're not on 60 hertz, they're on something, not 50 hertz, 40 hertz.
I don't know, but it's 220 instead of 120.
Yeah. Well, guys, I guess we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go home and work on this. I don't know as if I'll do a video because I can't get much done on video. It's very hard to pay attention to what you're doing and talk about it.
Yeah, you got some sort of precise stuff to be doing. I expected you to have that wingtip done when you came over here.
I expected me to have it done too, but I didn't. They're pretty close. I was gonna cover this with carbon veil, but now that I'm 2 ounces overweight, I don't know.
I don't know why you're putting something on there for nothing.
Because it feels so nice. It's like using primer.
So does your silkspan.
Yeah.
You got a sand with finer grit sandpaper on a bare wood. The flatter you can make the bare wood, the flatter your silkspan is gonna be.
I didn't know that, I can't remember his name now. The guy we were talking to made the propellers for Concourse. What the heck's his name? See him every year.
Mike Smith?
No. He's a pilot. Eric Taylor.
Eric Taylor, yeah. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he had a propeller business, and he did the concourse trophies that all of them propellers that Winnie's got. That came from Eric Taylor. This year we got a loop.
Well, they were nice. They were nice.
Yeah.
You know, all of its seconds, all of its scripts that he
Yep.
why not?
And all that shit that he couldn't sell.
I know we went out there for a while and was looking for as big of propellers as we could get. Cause if you could buy, you know, like a 24-inch prop, that's a 12-inch, that's two 12-inch trophies.
Yeah. I got one in my car that's that long. I was gonna cut it in half. Too much work.
It is. I made a bunch of them like that. When I bought bases, because you can go to Hobby Lobby or whatever and buy these bases that are all square, round, oval, and all that, and they've been routed around the edges and all that stuff. You're gonna paint it anyway, so why not? You know, $1 a piece for a base.
Bet not now.
Screw a propeller to it and paint first, second, third, fourth, concourse, whatever you want to on it. Makes for a nice little. I did it for concourse myself, but it would make a good first place trophy too. I know we've been giving out certificates here because if you price trophies, unless you have a kick-ass turnout,
It ain't worth it.
you can't afford them. Yeah, look at all the classes that you have. You got three trophies anyway for each class that you have. And then if you have skill class on top of that, like just for Pampa, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert times 3. You know, that's 12 trophies right there just for Pampa, just for Sunday. And then if you run classic, old time, and all that stuff with skill classes, that's 12 for each one of those too. So you can rack up 40 some trophies in a heartbeat. And the cheapest doggone trophies or pendants that you hang around your neck, probably $7. You know, for a little medallion or something, probably $7 or $8 for that nowadays. They go up from there. Them little cheesy cup trophies that are all plastic you get for soapbox derby and stuff, you know, that they were 50 cents a piece or $1 a piece back then. Now they're $10 probably.
I built my boss's son because he wouldn't do it at Harley, a soapbox derby car. I wish I would have watched YouTube. Did you know a 3-wheel soapbox derby car is faster than a 4-wheel car?
Yeah, but you can't have a 3-wheel.
Yeah, you can.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, they bend the axles, you bet. They lean the tires out like this and they make it so it's got the 4th wheel is just off the ground.
Well, they go through a tech.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed so much deflection and all that stuff. Bearings are checked and all that. I did soapbox derby with my daughters. I did soapbox derby. And there's only so much that you're truly allowed to do. Now, that's not saying that it doesn't get done. These kids, their dads worked out here at Wright Pat, and they had access to a wind tunnel.
That didn't mean
And their cars got put through wind tunnels.
well,
Literally. And these cars were all molded out of fiberglass or hand-laid 1/4 by 1/4 inch little oak strips, all sanded smooth with a baby grand piano finish on. You tell me that little snot-nosed kid that big made that car? I don't think so.
it depends. There's many things, many factors in soapbox derby that I didn't realize. Where you put the weight.
Oh yeah.
You put it at the back. You don't put it at the front.
It depends on the hill.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. The hill, if the hill is a steep hill, then the weight goes in one spot. It's different than if the hill is a long sort of lightly slipping.
I watched the math. These guys did the math and it sure made sense. The weight starts moving and it doesn't
It's
pick up
pushing
speed.
you.
Yeah, it doesn't pick up speed till the end.
It depends on the track, because we had movable weights in our cars. We did that a long time ago. Had weights in the nose, weights in the back, weights on each side, so you could weight one side of the car or the other side of the car.
3-wheel soapbox derby with the weight in the back is the
It's still got
fastest.
4 wheels. We'd take our wheels that we ran, and they go on an electric motor. And they'd sit there, run them bearings in on an electric motor.
Yeah.
Some guys thought you could spin them by hand and do that.
They
but
polish
no,
the
heck
axles.
No, we do that shit, and you can spin that wheel. It'd sit there, it'd spin for 5 minutes before it stopped.
They make a special pair of pliers to bend the axle.
They got glue. Oh, you're talking Pinewood Derby.
Soapbox derby. Yeah, Pinewood derby.
Soapbox Derby, you're driving.
Right, Pinewood derby.
Pinewood Derby, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We did all that stuff, 3 wheels.
Yeah.
You can barely do it because of the way the axles are cut. They got that slot in it, and you can just barely cock them a little bit before it starts coming out of the
But it's
slot.
it's rocking on, basically
Oh, yeah.
running on 2 wheels. And they
Yeah,
also said that a rail hugger is faster than one that goes down the center.
yeah.
Because the one that goes down the center is gonna hit the rail and burn off speed, hit the rail, burn off speed. The one that hugs the rail, just shoo.
See, we had tracks that had a centerpiece in them that kept the cars online. They couldn't go left or right. They had a center wide strip that fit between the two tires. You know, you could still go back and forth a half an inch, but it would run down there, and the car that tracked the straightest won because it didn't kiss off that inside of the tire thing. But you're right, we'd make them wheels cock like that so it only ran on that little thin edge.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. Them guys use special grease and special oils and stuff on their axles, or they polish that crap out of them.
Yeah, there's probably too much soda in here. Pour it out. I wish I would have watched YouTube before I built that car for him, though.
Oh, they're so much more elaborate than what we did. We did all that shit. We had nose weighted cars, tail weighted cars. We'd get them to where the car would almost balance on the two back wheels, or the two front wheels, and the other two would just barely even be touching.
Well, guys, we've been on 2 hours. Appreciate you watching. Join me this evening, maybe, for the continuation of getting this stupid thing together. It's a whole lot more work than you think. All right, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.